Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Ram 1500 Bighorn with the Night Edition package. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Dodge Ram here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. They have several of these 2025 Ram 1500s available in inventory, so if you want to look at the new Ram 1500, drive the new Ram 1500, definitely come and visit them. Link to their inventory in the description down below. And then as always, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get right into it. Powering this is a twin-turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 17 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 469 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So first off, I think the silver paint color with the Rams always looks fantastic with the Night Edition because you've got that cool contrast with the blacked out grille. Now, this is pretty exciting. The Bighorn has LED lights, as you can see. And then we've got the fog lights down below. We've got parking sensors integrated into the bottom as well. And so I think the front end, the new front end design, looks a little bit more modern, looks a little bit sharper, especially compared to a Bighorn with the old halogen lights. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275 by 55 by 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see the wheel design's changed a little bit here with the Bighorn, but kind of a similar theme with the big chunky spokes. And then you can see we've got the body painted fender flares with this. You have your 1500 SST badge. The SST lets you know this is the standard output with the Hurricane. And then we've got your Ram logo. And then notice the mirror caps and the door handles are blacked out. And then the Rams do still utilize multi-link. I won't really be able to show it too well because it's kind of hidden with the wheelhouse liner, but it's there. And then here's your full side view with the Bighorn Night Edition. And taking a look at the key fob, you can see that it's pretty similar to before, but you have to hold now for the tailgate drop down. Interesting. We got the Ram logo, so I guess we'll try this out and see. Oh, what the heck? I didn't even hold it down. It just popped. Weird. Now popping into the rear, this has the standard size bed, so the 5'7" length bed, pretty normal setup. Nothing in this particular one, but you can add stuff if you want more options. And then with the tailgate, it is pretty light. And then look at the Ram logo there, pretty cool looking. Got the Bighorn badge, you can see the 4x4 badge. And then we've got the taillights here, look a little bit more modern. Dual exhaust tips, just like with the Hemi, all blacked out. So wrapping things up, like I said in my first review of the 2025 Ram, I think that this new style looks pretty sharp if you ask me. Now taking a look at the door panel in the back, you've got this cool trim that goes across, and then this is like cloth here, and then you've got the soft touch down below. Tons of storage with this. And then we do have the ice buckets here, the truck. And then you've got the under seat storage as well. And then these are the new seats. They kind of have more of a durable feel compared to the cloth seats that were in the Bighorn before. And then stepping in is pretty easy. Just use the grab handle, gotta step up a little bit. Look how much legroom you have. It's like a Mercedes S-Class. Got a little storage pocket. Got more of that cool looking trim. You can see with the vents, the USB ports, outlet, all of that. Now taking a look at the front door panel, we've got soft touch here at the top. And then you've got that accent piece with the kind of like cloth trim down below and then more soft touch there. All of our window controls, notice the window control is a little bit different looking. Automatic. This does have power folding mirrors. It's also got blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. See what the payload's like with this truck. Look at that, 1,672 pounds of payload capacity. And then here is the front seat. You can see again with that trim. Power adjustments on the side. Then we've got our light controls here, so notice fog light, cargo light, all that, power adjustable pedals. We've got the steering wheel adjustment here too. And then with the Bighorn, you don't have a soft touch dash, just the kind of like durable plastic. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got the Ram logo there, front and center. Practical controls here for like the center screen. We have adaptive cruise control. You've got your gear limiter here on the side. Drive mode select as well. Still have radio controls in the back, and then this is interesting with the steering wheel material. And then you can see the regular stock there. And then with the Bighorn Night Edition here, you can see it's got the middle of the line gauge cluster, so we still have an analog gauge on one side and on the other. But then we've got that screen there in the center, which we can use to see different bits of information on this. And I bet this is where it'll show the drive modes. Yeah, so it looks like they basically borrowed a bunch of stuff from the Ram TRX with the drive modes. It doesn't have all of them. Oh, it's got the cool... So I guess it takes a second for the animation to load up. But it's got like a fun little depiction with the different modes too. That's fun. Now in reverse, we just have a regular backup camera, so nothing too crazy with that. And then we still have the big 12-inch display. I mean, look at this thing. It is massive. You've got analog controls here for the climate on either side. You have lane departure there at the top. You see the trim here at the top too, at the 12 volt. So a lot of similarities to before. I mean, the infotainment system software looks, you know, the look of this looks identical to the 24 model year. And then you can see we've got the little buttons there for the parking sensors, your stability control, your trailer brake controls. Look at that. It's all nicely integrated. Shifter for that 8-speed automatic transmission. You also have an advanced 4-wheel drive system with 4-wheel low, 4-wheel high, and 4-wheel auto. You got auto stop start. And then we still have the sliding center console. And then look at this. We've got some USB ports there. Wireless phone charging pad. We've got an outlet. So this looks like it's pretty much a carryover. And then with the center console, nice trim on the top here. I wonder if it still has the cool... Yeah, it still has the tables. That's cool. And then Bighorn here on the glove box. Got the top one, have the bottom one. Just a regular mirror. And then this one does have a power sliding rear window. So definitely a nice feature to have. And no sunroof. So here's our window sticker. You can see the Bighorn now starts at $51,535. But it looks like they've given the Bighorn a little bit more standard equipment. But with that being said, this one has quite a few options added to it. So that Night Edition, for example, you can see it adds quite a bit, including the anti-spin rear differential. Interesting. We had $25,445 is the MSRP there. So the rest of the options here. And then that Hurricane, $26,995 is an option. The standard engine is the 3.6 liter V6, 33 gallon fuel tank. Anyways, $62,985 is the total MSRP. Let's see how it drives. Resetting our fuel economy here in the Hurricane before we set off. I think the suspension might be smoother on the new Ram compared to the previous gen. It almost seems like it's more luxury. Interesting. So far, you know, you're missing the Hemi rumble. There is that distinction. It's so quiet. You don't, like, it doesn't even sound like you have an engine when you're at idle. The Hemi, you can hear the, unless it's, you know, it does have auto stop start. This does too. But if the, you know, if the engine shuts off, you don't hear the Hemi. But this, you just kind of get a little sound from the inline six. It's very quiet though. I think that's kind of what they're focusing on. They're like, you know, if we're not going to give the people V8 sounds, let's make sure the engine's as quiet as possible. Smooth though. It seems like it's got good torque and everything. So we'll get down to this line here and then we'll punch it with the new Hurricane. Wow! That's a big difference compared to the Hemi. That is a big difference. Wow. Don't get me wrong, the Hemi's, it's got that naturally aspirated response. It's great. This is just it. And understand, we're over 4,000 feet elevation here, so turbocharged engines always do better. Boy, oh boy, was that a substantial difference. Wow. That was impressive. And this is the standard output. This isn't even the high output Hurricane. Just the high output's gonna have, of course, more power. Can't go wrong with more power, am I right? Yeah, I do think the suspension's smoother in the new truck. Does feel a little bit more comfortable. We'll get up here and see what our final fuel economy reading is as soon as we hit this, not this sign, but the next sign after. That'll be our final reading. I think this is gonna have, over a short testing, this is gonna have a slightly lower reading than the Hemi did. So that's an interesting difference with the trucks. So it's this sign right here. This Tesla's trying to turn into me. I hate Teslas so much. Oh, people don't pay attention. They're too busy texting and driving on their Teslas. Okay, so passing the sign and 13.2. Okay. Yeah, the new Hurricane, it's a cool engine. And so if this is just the Bighorn review, then I'll see you guys